welcome to the big show and tell as we dance our way in here. I am Kim White. I am the co-host, and joining me here in the studio today is our amazing host and master givologist, Donna Bender. Thank you for doing this incredible show, Donna.
Well, thank you, Kim, and thank you for being my co host. And for those of you who may not be familiar, Kim White is the fierce founder and leader of the My Sexy business team and community. And like I love to say, my cohort in crime.
That's right. That's my favorite one.
So, Kim, this month's show really explores the who, what, where, when, why, and how, recognizing and showing appreciation to your clients and your employees is all about building those relationships so that you can thank them, show them appreciation. They've been loyal to you, and it's a strategy to have measurable growth. And so I just want people to realize that it's not just willy-nilly looking for a way for you to spend money. Because if anybody's ever heard me speak, I always say I hate wasting other people's money. So whatever anybody decides to do, there's a strategy behind it. And that's what I want to make sure that we cover in today's show.
We have multiple takeaways that you've already outlined for us, Donna. Do you want to share those? And then we've got a quote of the month that I love.
Yes, ma'am. Well, it's the who, what, where, when, and why. Recognition and appreciation strategies strengthen relationships. Various examples of recognition all throughout the show, and practical ways that people can use it. And so I'm hoping that they can, all the viewers who are watching can walk away with some practical ideas they can put into place right away.
Love it, Donna. So the quote of the month, and I love that you picked this one out, is feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. And that's William Arthur that said it. I love that. Got a beautiful gift, but I never give it to you. You don't know how grateful I am.
Yeah, and there's some great examples throughout the show, Kim, of how easy it is for us to appreciate moments. And, my whole idea is to bring to everybody's attention why it's so important to recognize the people that have been with us and have stayed with us. So I'd love to take us to the first segment, Kim, called 2 Words That Are So Important to Building Relationships. And I'm not going to tell you what they are.
I can't wait to hear.
2 words that are so important to building long-lasting relationships. That's any relationship, whether business or personal. And the answer is thank you. Imagine this scenario for a minute. Your arms are filled with packages, and as you get to the door of your office or your apartment, or maybe it's a store, some kind soul is standing behind you and sees you juggling to avoid dropping everything. And so he or she opens the door for you. What's the first thing you say? Thank you. Someone noticed you. A complete stranger did something nice, and it deserves a thank you. And if there was ever a time when you were the Good Samaritan opening the door, when you heard those 2 words addressed to you, it made you feel appreciated. So why is it such a challenge to show appreciation to the people that are in our lives and part of our orbit? That could be clients, business associates, employees, family, or friends. Did you know when it comes to clients, it's okay to say thank you? Thank you for your business. Yet many of us are not sure how. And so what do we always do? We grab something off of a store shelf or press an online button and voila, the client was thanked with a gift. But on a scale of 1 to 10, how much time and thought did you put into that particular client and their gift? Did you know that in a business study on the benefits of gift giving between business executives and their recipients, the recipients felt that the thought put into the gift was the most critical aspect of the gift itself. Those two words, thank you, do matter.
Yes,
those two words.
they do matter. You know, Kim, the point that I was trying to make in that, it's, you know, when you think about it, you know, somebody opens up a door for you, you'd be really rude if you didn't say thank you, right? And so it becomes, you know, just automatic. And that's for 1 second, one person did something nice. Now, think of all the employees and your clients who've been with you for years and who have given you business. And why, you know, and this has been my biggest thing, and to get across to everybody, is why it's so important to thank them. And it doesn't have to be terribly expensive, but it needs to have a strategy behind it, because the one thing that I always point out is that grabbing that gift card off the shelf at the supermarket. Now, there's nothing wrong with gift cards, but put it in something that they'll save. Maybe it's a small wallet. Maybe it's a great keepsake box. It could be put in something that somebody is going to use again. So when they actually spend that gift card, they'll remember who gave it to them, who got them that sweater, who got them whatever it is. So there is a strategy behind my madness.
I love your strategy, Donna. And I think it's very brilliant that you're not telling everyone to like increase what they're spending. It's the delivery of what it is. It's the presentation. You are all about presentation. I love it.
Thank you, Kim. And so our next segment is on the most powerful tool that's within our reach. And do you know what it is?
I don't, but I can't wait to see the video to find out. Here we go.
Today's Surprise and Delight marketing segment is about a very powerful marketing tool. What if I told you that tool was right within your reach? It's not a boring webinar with a high price ticket or an online campaign. It is so close to you, you can touch it. Are you ready? Okay. It's your clients, your employees, and your network. What? Yes, I'm talking about transforming those who already know and love your brand into the most passionate brand ambassadors. Let's start with your clients. When your client receives a heartfelt gift and posts their excitement as they take a video unboxing a beautifully wrapped package from you on social media, this does more for your brand's appeal than any type of paid advertising. Think about it. Their audience, network, and followers are now following you. Your employees can be great ambassadors, especially when they received a job well done kit filled with some very cool items. So when Susie from HR posts on her socials a picture of the new tech gadget you gave her, that's not an ad. It becomes more of a trusted recommendation. Then, of course, there's your own network that you gave a great piece of personalized drinkware. Say your recipient is using the drinkware in their daily routine and they jump on a Zoom call. Your reach is growing exponentially. Your clients, employees, and network can become your most powerful marketing assets. Along with the visibility, engagement, and trust in your brand, well, that is priceless. So, how will you show your appreciation today?
Well, that's a strategy, Kim.
I love this strategy.
That is a strategy. And you know, I think my mission in life is to point all these things out every single month or every time I talk to people, because it's those little things that we don't think about, you know, because somebody could say, you know, oh, we don't have it in the budget. Okay. But it's not just the gift. It's what happens with the gift after it's opened. And I can only tell you from personal experience, this has all happened to me, where I have had people, and it was embarrassing, actually. People would post on social media, look what they just got from me. And as much as it made me feel great, it really did. And I was not expecting that. And the other thing too is when you have employees and you give them something really cool, they're going to use it, they're going to wear it, they're going to brag about it. And, when they go out and about, they're with their own, group of people. It gets so much more exposure when you think about the people you're giving the gift to and then strategize in terms of what that gift could be.
I have to laugh and tell you, this is a co-branding and not necessarily a gift. But when you helped us partner with Yeti for our Yeti chugs, everywhere I go, everyone wants it. And I laugh because they all want to know where I got it. And I just send them to you, Donna, because you are where I got it. So
yes, Kim. Yes,
we're okay. Brand ambassadors.
Thank you.
So I love it.
So there, a lot of people think that, when you give a gift, you're expecting something right away from the person. You don't want them to think that you're expecting something. But again, my whole philosophy about giving, and this next segment will take us there, is about giving with no strings attached.
Let's head over.
Today's Surprise and Delight marketing segment is on giving with no strings attached. True confession, I never thought of the giving process when I first started my business because it seemed to come naturally to me. And I have witnessed the benefits of giving to a company's bottom line growth. I'm reminded every day that this process works, and it has been curated over the past 18 years. It is living proof of what can happen when you shift your mindset and approach to doing business. The giving process is not about having to be an over-the-top salesperson that can sell ice to the Eskimos, which, when you really think about it, is not a very honest and noble approach to sell something to your client they don't need. It's just the opposite. By giving, not selling, you can increase your business. Let me break this down further. Giving with no strings attached. The translation, no quid pro quo. To give without asking for anything in return. It's not about the barter system or the give and take exchange we learned as children. If I give you this, what will you give me? Which was immediately followed by a gesture of your thumbs in your ears as you waved your other fingers and recited, na, 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 na. And like giving with no strings attached, giving without expectations is just a pure act of kindness, straight from the heart, without thinking about a desired outcome. Have I mentioned this already? I love giving gifts. Just joking, I know I've mentioned that already.
I think I've mentioned that several times, don't you?
I think I've heard that somewhere, Donna, that you like giving gifts.
I do. And really, it isn't about, I don't want people to get the wrong impression that if, they start giving gifts this holiday season, that come January, they're going to be getting, huge business from everybody. It could happen, but it's not something that I want everybody to expect. Because, and that's why I say, it's not quid pro quo. It's just give from your heart. And it's amazing what you get back in return. And it could be a referral. You know what I mean? It may not be business from them, but they could refer you to one of their, business associates. So you just never know. I just don't want people to think that, I'm going to give this to you and I expect this in return.
Oh, yeah. No, but I will say, Donna, when you show appreciation to a client or to your team, they then know how you really feel. Because I will tell you, we get so busy as business owners, sometimes we forget to say thank you, like the door example earlier. We don't take the time to say, what we need to. And I do believe in no strings attached giving. But how do you like to hear how grateful I am for you? Because it's true.
Mhm.
How do our clients like to hear how grateful we are for them? Because we
Mhm.
wouldn't have a business, as you say, without them.
Right. And if you give something, that is thoughtful and meaningful to the person, to the recipient, they get to use it, they get to see it, and you stay top of mind. And, people might be wondering, well, we haven't seen any gifts. So let's go to the first product reel, Kim. And these are various trends that are happening for this year into 2026. And there's some really beautiful products. So I know there's a great gift selection there.
Can't wait to see it.
Well, all those things are in my industry, Kim. I'd be happy with several of them. They are just, there's some great items there. And the thing I want to also stress, because you had mentioned co-branding with Yeti, is that even if it's not necessarily co-branding, so much of the products now look like retail brands. I mean, you could just see the difference, in terms of the apparel, the colors, the beige and the charcoal, backpacks and things lined up. I mean, the colors are what's happening and what's trending right now. And so there's never going to be a moment where you can't find something that someone's going to go, yeah, I needed that, because they saw it somewhere else, And that's happened to me too, when I've given a gift and people say, how did you know I needed that? I was just going to go buy that. So the point being is that there's so much that look like retail brands. So if you didn't want to co-brand, you could still, get something that looks just like it.
Love it, Donna. I think one of the things that you've taught me was perception too. That things can look very pricey and not be. Like, I
Yes,
think that's another piece of this gifting and giving. You can really get some nice things without spending a lot of money.
absolutely. Absolutely. And, and that's really, I don't usually talk about it, but I do spend a lot of my time, besides, talking about the marketing and the strategy, around the products and going to trade shows and meeting with vendors and having webinars. So I get a chance to see everything that is new and innovative. And of course, there's a whole plethora of staples out there. So if you might be a little shy to try something new, there's always things there's something for everybody. Let's put it that way.
The classics and the trends.
And
Donna can help you find what fits for you.
thank you, Kim. So let's move into our next segment, which is called, Are You Thanking the Right People?
Here we go.
Are you thanking all the right people? Last Tuesday, I led the conversation on who should be on your gift list. And I want to share a great story that happened to me that illustrates how important that list can be.
When people ask me who should be part of their giving plan, I always say that besides clients, you should be thanking your spheres of influence. People that might not be purchasing your product or service, someone who could be a good synergy partner or someone who can collaborate with. Think of mentors or business people or professors. It could be an executive assistant to your client. And by acknowledging members of this specific group of people when they least expect it, you become more referable. And as you may have guessed by now, I love giving gifts. And over the years, the companies change, the people change, and that's why it's so important to maintain relationships. I have been working with one client since 2006. And when COVID hit, the trips they were creating to show appreciation to their clients came to a screeching halt. However, even during that time, I felt it was so important to thank my clients for still honoring their invoices and remaining loyal. And so when a few junior marketing people joined their team, I wanted them to feel included, and I gave them a thank you gift as well. So fast forward, that assistant marketing manager is now the marketing manager and still mentions the gifts I have given her. Here's the bonus. Over the past 5 months, we have been developing new products for them, and the management team loves them so much that on Friday, I received an email from another department in the company. She received my name from the marketing manager I currently work with, and now she wants to place an order as well. And she asked me if I could help her. And of course I said, hey, just kidding. By putting a giving plan in place and acknowledging your client, showing appreciation, thanking your people in your orbit that you would never imagine would refer business to you, these are all important people to nurture and build long-lasting relationships with. Yes, by giving, you will build a successful business. And that's the truth, Kim. That's the truth.
I love that you have like experience and stories to share them like right now. What's happened?
Yeah. And it really is true. I mean, I think that there's so much going on in companies today. People are coming, people are going, people are staying, people are leaving. And so you have to be, thinking about everybody. And so, a lot of people can't think of a gift. Like if they work with 3 or 4 people in one department, what type of gift would be good for that? And, over the years, I have put together a whole group of things that is great to give as group gifts. And so it could be one of a kind, or it could be, one thing everybody enjoys, or each individual person could get something. So there's always a way to work around it.
I love it. And I love that you mentioned the different people, because sometimes we think about, maybe we do think about our clients or our team, but we don't think about those that are actually helping us do good business, the ones around us.
And you're working with a CEO. Well, that CEO has an executive admin that is the one you speak to probably more often than the CEO, him or herself. And so that person should definitely be on your list to thank. It's not only people who you work with directly, but it's the people you work with indirectly that without their help, you wouldn't have a business. So there's always people to thank him. And so the next product reel is about all different products that happen to be part of my blogs that are on my website. And I would love to show that because there's some great items in there. And the blogs also explain, what businesses and what industries all of these gifts would be applicable for.
Here we go. Let me just say thank you for watching the Big Show and Tell today. And if you're watching the replay, be sure and pause and look at all those amazing things that are in that reel, because Donna, there's a lot of things in there that apply to a lot of different businesses.
Yes, and that was as we had talked about, Kim, that was the real reason behind the blogs that people can find on my website, because it talks about the product and the application, but also the industries that could benefit by using it, and why we love it. And so there's a lot of information besides just the pretty pictures.
Love the pretty pictures too.
Actually, and there's a link in each one that will take you to the product on my website, so you can find out pricing, you could find out, imprint information. So there's a lot of information in there.
You're always giving.
Thank you, Kim.
Well, I'd like to head over to our next segment. It's on corporate training. If you've been watching Donna for any time at all, you know she's an amazing corporate trainer, and she helps with big gifting plans as well as small ones. But we want to share this real quick, Donna. We think we want to share this. Here we go.
Just smile.
Making sales and staying in business is more important than ever in today's fast-paced world. And I hear the buzz around the executive boardrooms. How do we get our teams to hit our sales numbers? What can we do to stay ahead of our competition, keep clients loyal, and multiply referrals? Sound familiar? As Vice President of Merchandising at Calvin Klein and Director of Sales at Salvatore Ferragamo, I learned the secrets of using the right branded marketing, which opened the door to also consult for Eddie Bauer, Laura Ashley, Major League Baseball, and New Balance. Working with branding and marketing legends for several decades enabled me to help hundreds of corporate clients and their teams design customized plans that increased sales, saved time, and eliminated the common challenges hindering growth. Our corporate training program can strengthen your brand presence, amplify visibility, and foster meaningful connections with your right audiences, so you can stop spending money on inefficient marketing that wastes valuable time and money. Let's change that conversation in the boardroom. I'm Donna Bender. Contact my team today to discover how our tailored approach can transform your company's performance, increase your business, and position you ahead of the competition too.
How many times have we heard that commercial, Kim? But it is so apropos for today's Big Show and Tell, because all the things that we're talking about today are all of the things that I love to bring back to a company and to work with their sales and marketing teams to show them how this works and how they can benefit from it. And the whole thing is, we put a plan in place, Kim. We put a plan in place so it's not something you have to worry about all year long. We sit down, we work, make it happen, and then it's all taken care of. So that's the beauty about having a giving plan as part of your marketing plan, so that you're not worrying about the budget. You've allowed it for it, and it's going to make a return on your investment.
What business does not want to save time and money and get results? Let me just ask that question, because I don't think there's any business out there that does not qualify for exactly what you are helping with strategy, Donna, because we all want to save time and money, and we definitely want a return on what we're investing in. So I love this. I love this commercial, as you call it, every time I see it.
Thank you, Kim. And this is just an aside, but I feel like I should run a contest of how many hairdos I have during the course of the show. Because every single segment, it looks totally different. I'm going to run a contest that day. And you can submit your answer and we'll talk about a prize.
You're so funny.
So go ahead.
Well, I just want to say really quickly, though, when you're talking about investing in clients and customers you already have, you have a stat that I appreciate for my own business. And that is, the probability, and I'm reading it so that you all know, so I don't get it wrong. The probability of selling to an existing customer is over 60%, while selling to a new prospect is less than 20%. And I feel like if you want a sure thing, because we all are looking for the results, why wouldn't you go for the clients you already have to honor them, or to say thank you, or to appreciate them, like Donna's talking about?
And if you're looking at dollars and cents, and your options are, should I spend that money on acquiring new clients, or should I spend money on the clients I already have? Because it is a proven fact. There's a lot of statistics about why it's more important to retain clients. It's less costly. And there's a lot more, you can reap the rewards much more quickly than just, looking to acquire new customers. So there's a lot of reasons why you should show appreciation to your current clients.
Well, and you have a segment on, the difference between tangible and intangible gifts. And I think that this is a great place to put that, Donna, you talk about that. You talk about how to do it within budget and how to actually give something that they will be wowed by and not forget you.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's roll it, Kim.
Let's head over.
Today's Surprise and Delight marketing segment is about the difference between tangible and intangible gifts. A tangible gift is a physical item that can be seen and touched. And an intangible gift is something that is experiential and non-physical in appearance. So why is knowing this difference essential to the growth of your business? Well, let's dive a little deeper with a few more examples for clarity. I think it might be easier to understand more about tangible gifts because not only can they be touched, they have a physical appearance, such as a blanket, a mug, a book, a pen. Intangible gifts or experiential gifts elicit a strong emotional response. These are usually gifts that cannot be wrapped or handed to someone, such as giving of your time, monetary donations, volunteering, calling someone on the phone to say hi, or promoting a client's business on a podcast or interview. Sometimes the waters can get a little muddy on this topic. For instance, giving tickets to a music or sporting event as a gift. You can touch the tickets. However, the experience of the concert cannot be physically touched, but it can be memorable for sure. Music can connect all of us in different ways. Certain artists and their music touch me emotionally. The concert itself, the evening, the entire event is a gift of experience, and in this case would be considered an intangible gift. Knowing more things about your clients will help you in decision-making as to whether your client would prefer receiving a tangible or an intangible gift. No matter which way you choose, when it comes to successful gift giving, it is important to keep in mind that the gift you give may not necessarily be something you would choose for yourself, but more importantly, something your client will like.
An important lesson. And I think a lot of people fall into that category. It's a normal thing. You look at something, I don't like that. But if you know enough about your clients, that could be the perfect gift because your client may love that. And so, yes, it may not be something that you would want for yourself, but, we're all different. And so having a little bit more information, knowing your clients a little bit better helps in selecting the right gift.
I think it's really important, Donna. And I love that you bring up the intangible, and it does have those crossovers of tickets, and you can touch the tickets. My favorite story, one of my favorite stories you tell, is about the client who took their clients to the Kentucky Derby. That's a great example.
That is amazing. And what they received, and it's interesting because, when you're going to an event like that, you want to hold on to something that is tangible. You could probably have the program or whatever. I don't know. I've never been to the Kentucky Derby, so I don't know what else they give, but I'm in julep. But what he did was, when they got home, we made a replica, a full color replica of the ticket. And it stood on a pedestal so that each of them had the ticket. And, every time they looked at it, they could remember the experience they had. It was wonderful. It was just a wonderful full circle.
What a great way to help them remember you.
Yeah, no, it was great. And when people say, oh, I don't know what to get somebody, but if people like music and they like going to concerts, that's a great thing. And, doing something with the tickets or, a replica is great, and you could put it inside something. So there's a lot of things you could do, but there's never gee, I don't think we could find something. That's never been something that's entered my mind before.
Well, and Donna, you have a great segment on the top 5 ways you can show appreciation, which I appreciate because I learned from this and implemented one of these 5 and had great response from it. So I'd love to let everybody see what I got to see.
Please, Kim.
Today's Surprise and Delight marketing segment is all about appreciation and recognizing your clients. This is a topic I love to talk about. Showing appreciation to your clients and recognizing the value they have to your organization will build a long-lasting relationship and strengthen the foundation of your business. Any relationship is strengthened by expressing gratitude, so companies can deepen the relationship they have by prioritizing appreciation. And there are many ways that you can do that. Here are my top 5. 1, you can give a wonderful gift and personalize it with the recipient's name. 2, you can volunteer or sponsor an event for a charity that might be near and dear to your client's heart. 3, you can send them a personalized thank you note. 4, you can create a welcome box for all your new clients. And 5, you could present them with an award. So, did you know that 75% of American consumers have said they are more likely to be loyal to brands that show they understand them on a personal level? So let me ask you, if loyal clients can grow your business, have you ever considered giving awards to your clients and employees? Shining the spotlight on your clients and your employees will create a bond and will establish them wanting to continue to do business with you in the future. It doesn't have to be hard, and it doesn't have to cost a lot. And if your company already has a plan, well, maybe you can add a new category. And the best part is there are no rules, and you can be as creative as you like.
I think this is so funny because you have to share about that, Donna, so they understand.
This is a sales award, a top sales award, but it is in the shape of it's bigger than a World Series ring. It's bigger than a Super Bowl ring. Let me just tell you that. But it's great. It says top sales and the base says this was given to me, my name, but it could be anything, could be written uh, on the base. But this is great. And, it's things like this, they're not necessarily that expensive. This company also makes the big wrestling belts, all those kinds of awards. And, awards have all different kinds of things. This was a great award that I had gotten actually from the My Sexy Business community in 2023 for the Standout Award, which I cherish. And another award I had gotten years past was and this was funny too. I did the awards for this particular client, not knowing I was going to be one of the recipients. So it was very funny when I received that, but that was a while ago. And this one, this was done through the Fierce Entrepreneur Summit. This was given out at the end of one. And actually, we have one coming up, Kim, next month.
We do. And I just want to say, like, for the record, this is something I had dreamed about giving awards for years and years. And Donna's the one that actually put that plan in place so that now we have our annual Ms. B Awards every November. And it's thanks to Donna that we now know. I was so overwhelmed with the process, I'll just be honest, because there's a lot to consider. And Donna made it where we actually could implement it. And we've been doing it for several years now because of Donna. So thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you. And, so there are a lot of things, a lot of ways you can show your appreciation, which, we went through, in the last segment, all 5 ways. And a thank you note, a handwritten note, a beautiful gift. Volunteering, that's another thing that is not, it's an intangible gift, but, so many different clients sponsor different events. They purchase tables. Maybe you want to buy a ticket. Maybe you want to volunteer at that event. And all of these ways are giving back. You're giving back to your clients. So that's one, those are the intangible ones versus the physical gifts. So there's a lot of ways of showing appreciation.
I like both, Donna. Can I have both? That's what I want.
And speaking of, awards as one of the ways of recognizing your clients, Kim, we have a wonderful product reel now to show all different types of beautiful awards.
Donna is lovely at finding the kinds of awards too to help everybody. So I just want to put that in there, Donna. Here we go. They're so nice, Donna. There's so many different kinds and types and looks to all of them.
They are beautiful. And Kim, over the years, I have just seen that category grow and grow, from beautiful art glass, and as well as gorgeous acrylic awards. There's so many things that they can do now in terms of 3D and cutting out the awards that it looks just like the logo, and there's just so much, and it's just a nice way of recognizing not only your employees but your clients as well.
I appreciate you teaching us about how to do it, because it has made a difference. And I will just say I always laugh when I see one of our clients out in the world and we see a video from them, and we'll see one of our awards behind them on a shelf or on their desk or whatever. And I love it. So thank you for helping us implement that.
My pleasure, Kim. My pleasure. And now we have another segment, Kim, also about awards. And this is honoring different people say, well, what kind of award? And so they have the following segment plus another product reel, which has, I don't know, 100 different different award names that you can choose. But this one is in particularly very special, and it's called Honoring Milestones. And there's a little fun involved.
There's a lot of fun involved in this one. Here we go.
And the Oscar goes to...
The surprise and delight marketing segment is on the impact of honoring milestones. You know, with Thanksgiving only a few weeks away, it's the perfect time to reflect on the power of gratitude in our personal and professional lives. It's important to honor milestones for clients, employees, team members, volunteers, and vendors who make our businesses thrive. It could be years of service, exceptional performance, or company anniversary. Showing our gratitude isn't just a nice gesture. It's the foundation of strong, lasting relationships that drive our business forward because they boost morale, strengthen loyalty, build trust, and create a community where people feel valued. So here are also some Thanksgiving-inspired awards to consider that just spark a smile around your Thanksgiving table. You can have the Biggest Turkey Award for the one who's never afraid to ruffle a few feathers. The Stuffing Star Award for the person who fills every gap and keeps us all together. The Pumpkin Spice Spark Award celebrating the one who adds seasonal flair to the family. And the Cranberry Cheerleader Award for the family member who is always a little sweet and a little tart. So this Thanksgiving, here's to building relationships and businesses that are warm, memorable, enjoyable as a holiday gathering, and hopefully add a few laughs along the way.
And the Oscar goes to...
I love that, Donna. And can I just make mention of the fact how much I appreciate you doing these in advance so that we can actually participate. That's actually why we're wearing our Santa hats.
You know, we never talked about that, Kim. I was thinking about it because, you know, you're right. You know, we want to give people time to think about this, to start maybe putting a budget together, to coming up with a list. And a lot of times we talk about it right then when it's happening. So this year we decided to give everybody a couple of months to prepare.
Very short time, actually, if you really count down the days. But I love your turkey costume. Let me just say that. And I love that you bring so much fun into this strategy. The strategy is serious, but the delivery is hysterical. You ruffling your turkey feathers talking about the awards. So don't be mistaken that Donna is extremely serious about the big results, but she's also a whole lot of fun delivering how to get there.
And I will say, Kim, depending on the client who wants me to come up for corporate training, I would come in my turkey outfit if it was around Thanksgiving. So I'm just saying.
So there's another option to add on for corporate training.
That's right. Little feathers.
Well, Donna, this next segment, I feel like is such a gift from you already. And again, if you're watching the replay, slow down and watch it if you need the names on it. But it's a lot of suggested award names. And I think this was one of the things that you benefited me so greatly with giving so many awards. I needed help with what all the different awards would be. So thank you again. I'm going to just say I'm grateful, Donna. Those two words we used at the beginning, I'm going to say thank you out loud to you on the show. But let's share with everybody just a small list, really, of all the names that are possible for awards.
We shall. Let's go. Yes, Kim, thanks for pointing that out, because there are fun names for awards. There are ones that, aren't the traditional award names. So yes, watch the reel again, pause it, take some notes, or give me a shout, because there are some great ways to come up with titles for awards. And one thing, I just want to point out when it comes to a milestone, giving somebody a beautiful pen, like this was a cross pen that I had received for a milestone. And, it comes in a beautiful gift box. So there are other things than just, an award for your shelf. You can give something that they can use as well. This was a gavel. This is great, for boards, when people are, leaving their position and welcoming another chairperson in. This is a great example, and I can't get my words out, Kim. And this is great actually for boards. This is a decision-making wheel, and it comes in a beautiful box, and it just has spin, yes, no, today, sit on it, just funny things. But you can laser engrave these with the person's name. So there's so many ways to show appreciation that are different and unique.
I love all the unique ways, but I will say, Donna, that when you are talking about tying the emotions of, receiving an award, being recognized in some way to you and to your brand, that it has been significant for us. So I cannot wait to see what all you have stored up for your clients this season. But it's a great season to honor.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much. And so we have one more segment to round out the show. And it's all about the it's an idea about, are your branded products making you money? And what I say about branded products, I also really support when it comes to giving gifts. So let's roll it.
Okay.
Using a branded product to promote your business help you increase your business. A branded product can be a powerful tool to promote your business for sure. And branded products and gifts are extremely effective to increase your business when used strategically and included as part of your overall marketing and branding strategy. The products you select should be a representation of your company's core values and something of interest to the various audiences and markets you serve. They increase brand visibility and expose your brand to a wider audience. Think about a walking billboard for you, and all these people are becoming one. I have a confession. I hate wasting other people's money. So when a client calls me and says, I need a branded product for a trade show, I'm thinking of 1,000 pens. Well, statistics show that 6% of trade show attendees are actually your right fit clients. So that's about 30 people. So instead of spending all that money on pens you don't need, I always recommend that my clients consider the 3-step process to guarantee a successful trade show. You will spend no more than you already planned on spending. And it's a process designed to reach out specifically to those 30 prospects before, during, and after the trade show. So here's what happened. Of the 25 prospects he invited, 19 came to his booth. And within a short period of time after the trade show, he closed business with 9 new clients. And over a period of 2 years, his business increased steadily by 18%. A well-executed marketing strategy using the right branded products and given to the right audience can significantly contribute to promoting your business and increasing your sales. Are your branded products making you money?
Gotta be action-packed.
So Kim, I can't even see anymore. The application that I wanted to talk about as far as branded products and gifts. That particular segment was about having gifts for a specific group of clients that you want to show up at your booth. So to put a little bit more emphasis on those kinds of things, and you're not spending, a ton of money. You might have extra pens if it's pens you want to give out to everybody else, but it's finding the right gift to bring them to the booth and then to follow up again when they're home, to remind them of, it was really fun to meet you. And you could see he definitely benefited by this strategy.
It's a very effective strategy. If anything increases your business 18%, you need to pay attention, is what I say. And Donna, you mentioned like 5 things, and I think this would be a great end for the show, talking gifts and talking about getting ready for recognizing and showing appreciation. But you talk about five things that need to be included for an effective gift. Could you share that? And I believe that you know them by heart, but if you don't, I'll help because I have them memorized for you.
I do, Kim. Well, we all know that thoughtful is key. Thoughtful, memorable, meaningful, unique, and useful. And if you can hit one or more of those with a gift that you're giving to somebody, well, you've really given something that's meaningful to the client and or the recipient or the employee. But think about those things when you're selecting a gift, when you're reaching for the gift card in the supermarket. Think about how you could make it memorable. Think about, how you could make it useful. If they like tools and everything, so maybe the gift cards for Home Depot, but put it in something so that when they spend the money, they will remember you.
Good strategy. Donna, thank you for another amazing show. We'll be back next month. And we seriously, if you all have not already set up your plan for the year, please call Donna and set up yours so that you can get the big results that Donna gets for all her clients. So thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Kim. And for everybody who is watching, the next big show and tell for next month is October 28th at 1 p.m. Central Time. And Kim, what I like to say, be there or be square. So if there's nothing else, bye for now. That's a wrap.